Welcome back, thank you for joining me. Another video, and again repairing the Volvo V50 all-wheel drive, turbocharged, 65,000 kilometers, and I got some noise. And that was an easy identification of the source from the knocking sound. The driver's side tie rod end is making the noise on bumps, and it's easy to check. Raise the front of the car and there you go, you can feel the looseness, horizontal looseness in the tie rod end. When you put your hand on the ball joint, you can also feel there is some knocking sound. Ordered TRW, these are the part numbers, compatible with many brands here, as you can see. You know, it's a shared platform with Ford. Looks like a good quality, way cheaper than original Volvo, and actually TRW makes some suspension components for Volvo, so I'm gonna be pretty confident installing these parts on the Volvo. The tie rods are marked left and right. I'm doing here a quick unboxing. Super tight joint here, nicely done. And I was very surprised at this mileage to have some suspension issues, but I will show you later what's going on. There is a reason why it went bad, the driver's side. Let's unpack the second tie rod. Here is side by side, left and right. You can't go wrong, and of course after replacing you must do alignment. Here's another shot of the loose joint here. Let's begin the work. First of all, you want to clean the threads as much as you can to be able to loosen all those rusty nuts and bolts using a wire brush on a drill. Here is the first sign, a 15mm nut, which is wrong. It should be 16. So that was the first indicator that this tie rod was replaced at some point.
One, two, three.
Now you do want to count the turns, but to be honest, unnecessary. Just undo the old one, do the new one. You don't need to count any turns. Completely unnecessary, as long as you're gonna do the alignment as soon as possible. That's nice and tight. The new tie rod will require a counter hold of 5mm hex to make sure it doesn't spin while you tighten the nut. It's a self-locking nut, by the way, and this time it's a 16mm proper nut. And we're gonna torque it to spec. and make sure that this nut is also tight. They will be touching this nut to do alignment, so don't go crazy on it. Let's take a look what's going on inside. Looking at it, I couldn't see any markings on it, so definitely aftermarket part with not factory size of nut. Inside the boot we can see some dry grease and a definitely bad ball joint. This just proves that the car had an aftermarket part installed which didn't last long enough. 40,000 kilometers. As you remember, the car was a rebuilt status. It was sideswiped on this side, on the driver's side. They did replace the tie rod, which didn't last long enough, as it's a cheapo part. Because I didn't know what's going on, I bought both tie rods. So let's remove the tie rod on the passenger side and see if we can see any markings on it. A proper 16mm nut on this side, which is a good indicator. It's not loose, it's just because I bought it and I'm gonna be doing alignment anyway, so it's just a good idea to replace those parts
15.
in pair. Now let's take a closer look, and what can we see? We can see Germany and TRW at the bottom. It's hard to see, but it's there. So that proves that they installed a cheap part on the driver's side during the repair, which didn't last at all. So this is the original tie rod on the passenger side. So pretty much copy paste on this side, torque it to spec. And here you are at the difference, the original factory on the right side and the aftermarket garbage on the left side, which actually cost me close to $400 to get this repaired, and that's not including labor, which I did myself. Let's take a look at the original factory. As you can see, enough grease, it's not dry, it's not rusty, still in good shape, nothing's wrong with it, but for the sake of it, why not replace it anyways. Now it's time to do an alignment. I didn't want to spend too much money going to Volvo, so I went a local shop here, which charge less money for alignment, and actually the guys were really good. They did the alignment twice to make sure my steering wheel is nice and straight to my likes, so the technician was very welcome to test drive it to test drive the car with me before completing the job. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye guys.